Hello everyone, Basic Ollie here, hope you're all doing well and welcome back to another GT Sport video. A video, to be honest with you, I never thought I'd be doing. This is my debut in Top Split. As you could probably tell by the points available, nearly 350 points, some massive names in here. In a lobby, it's just nice to be in here, to be honest with you. And we're going to do our very best, folks. Now with this video, I'm going to show you and kind of prove to you just how quick these guys really are. These are the guys that are right at the top of the pedestal, and it's absolutely awesome to be driving with them today. So in this video you're going to see just how quick they are and how just a little mistake can cost you so much in these kind of lobbies. But we're going to come out into qualifying then, and with this video I am going to try to minimise all the editing I can. I just want to make it as pure as I possibly can. So let's get qualifying underway for round 8 of the Manufacturers Series. You can see we're behind Will Murdoch, so the track for this race is very small, it's very stacked, 20 Group 3 cars trying to make it around this circuit. You have to find a gap and you have to get the slipstream. So this is going to be my first attempt here. We're going to go behind VQS Matthews in the BMW M8. Now I am in the Ford Mustang, as many of you will know. It's not the best car, far from it. Around here it's really struggling. In practice I could only do a 43.1, where most of the guys in this kind of split were in the 42s, you know, 0.8, 0.7s, even 0.6s. So the Mustang, as you can see here, it just struggles putting the power down in the second corner. Now that doesn't sound like too much, but it does cost you a little bit of time, and in these lobbies you just can't afford to lose any sort of time whatsoever. So this is a big steep learning curve for me, this. So as we break just after the 100-meter board, I can see that VQS Matthews he's just pulled a little bit on me there, and that 3/4 of a second I need for the slipstream is completely gone. And as you can see, I run wide. I'll go in the pits straight away, decide to bolt on some soft tyres once more. You can use soft, mediums or hards in this race. Hard tyres are mandatory, so we'll have to use them at some point in this race, but obviously for qualifying we'll be on the soft. So we come out again once more. We haven't set a qualifying time. Pole time at the moment by the Spaniards is a 42.887. So very rapid indeed. Now I don't know if I can match those kind of times. I doubt it, because I only get to go in the Mustang, and I know the Mustang's got absolutely no chance. There is another Mustang in here though, DMRE Dino. He's actually first for forward whilst I'm second, so I need to gain 30 points on him in this race. So I need 250 points if I want to take first for forward in the manufacturer. So if you've been following this series, you know I've been right behind Dino the whole way, and we've beaten James and James Adventure Racing, and Rory, here he is. So we're quite comfortable with that. But now let's go back on to qualifying once more. So we decided to get behind this guy in the Evo. Now I thought this was a good idea as soon as I latched onto the back of him, purely because I knew in the Evo, in the slipstream, I can catch up. Even in a straight line, this thing's much quicker in a straight line than the Evo. So in the slipstream as well, even though it evens out because he's got the slipstream of the Viper ahead of him, I can still gain quite a bit of time. So I can see straight away I've gained a few temps just through the first corner, but again through the second corner it's just not quite quick enough. Through this one as well, it feels like a bit of a boat, bit of understeer as you go through the right-hander. You've got to touch the sausage curb on the right-hand side. You've got to be aggressive on these curbs as you go through this middle sector here, all the way up the hill. Again, braking after the 100-meter board, braking as hard as I possibly can, not getting too tight. You don't really want to touch the orange sausage curb on the inside, but this is a very good lap. You can see Prime Phoenix has bottled it there, unfortunately wiped himself out, and we're going to cross the line here and we set a 43 flat. So that's better than what I did in practice, and that is a very good time for the Mustang, and that puts us P5 in Top Split. Really, unbelievable. I was literally punched in the air when I managed to get that lap time. And I knew there was time to be found as well, but as you come out here, look, it's just a bit of a cluster because everyone is trying to find that slipstream, but at the same time you don't want to get in people's way if they're going on a flying lap. It's just a bit of a mess, if I'm being completely frank. Even in these Top Split lobbies you're going to find stuff like this. It is going to cause a bit of a hassle. So you can see the guy in Evo actually was P3. VQS Matthews, who was behind earlier, is actually in P2. So I didn't choose. My choices of people to get behind were not bad. Not bad at all, but couldn't quite stick with them. So you can see, look at this, just this queue, and it's just not very good, to be honest. And I get behind this guy in the Ford GT, but straight away I can see I'm too far behind. I'm still getting a bit of slipstream, but not as much as I would if I was a lot closer. So already my lap time here is badly compromised. It's going to have to be one hell of a lap if we are going to improve. So we go on the inside of this curve straight away, too slow, 2 wheels, and then I went too wide here. So I decided to duck out of it. I go straight to the right, make sure I don't get in anyone's way whatsoever. Dino was just behind me there, but he had a penalty, so I don't think he's going to be able to improve his lap time. He did a 43.1, so even though we're only, what, half a tenth quicker, 6, you know, something like that, we managed to finish P8 in the end as we skipped to the end, and that's P8 in qualifying. So unfortunately it wasn't quite P5, but still P8. I was fully expecting to be in the back 5 without a doubt. So to be in the top 10, absolutely amazing, amazing. So first thing we do then, as soon as we get in the lobby, fuel saving is quite important in this one. But in the Mustang, well, she's a big old V8 and she gargles fuel for fun. She just drinks it constantly. So I put my brake bias to 2 to save the tyres at the front, and the fuel mixture is on lean. I'm just doing everything I can here, all the way until the red lights or the countdown gets us underway. So the race is now begun. Okay, so this is my first race in top split. I was nervous as hell, I really was, but I just had to keep calm and just drive how I've always been driving, and fingers crossed it's going to be enough to get us through here. So the strategy on this one, as you can probably think to yourself, Ollie, why are you driving so slowly here? You know, you're dropping off the guys already. There's a variety of strategies you could do here, but if you start P8, I was reliably informed that you should start on the hard tyres if you're P8, because what you can do is pit on lap 1 and then just go on the softs for the rest of the session. So I just thought, if I start P8, it doesn't matter if someone overtakes me like here, just keep calm, doesn't matter, think of the bigger picture. So I've got 2 people overtaking me here, however, they're on the softs, I'm on the hards. We go straight into the pits here, put the softs on. Fuel, as I said earlier, is quite important. The game doesn't quite measure the fuel that you need to do the whole race, alright? So when I look this up, you have to overfuel by about a lap or so. So if you see me on a later stint overfueling and you're thinking to yourself, what are you doing, Ollie? You have to do it. You have to do it. You won't make it through. In other cars, you'll be okay, but in this Mustang, it's just not quite enough. So we come out then. So we've already done a pit stop, you see. This is what's awesome. We've already done a pit stop, and we're still in P11. Okay, so that means we've got a pit stop ahead of the people in front. However, pit stops are only worth about 4 seconds. But if you put fuel in, it's worth more, about like 7 or 8. So we'll have to do that. But in reality, it's about 4 seconds. So that would equal out to about 9th place at the moment, because we're about 3 seconds behind Dino here. We're just ahead of Quinton. Now, what you're going to see in these next couple of laps is you're going to see just how quick this guy is. And you can see why he's top split and why he's always up there getting the big points. So as we cross the line, we were a second ahead of the guy. And as we go through just essentially 3 corners, he's already gained basically a quarter of a second on me already. And I go over this and I look over this video and I'm watching this, thinking to myself, where the hell has he gained that much time? And that's the difference, you see. That's the difference with these top split drivers. They can just find time where you think it's not possible. Quinton's in the Mercedes AMG, which I would like to think as well is a lot better than this Mustang. To be honest with you, as much as I enjoyed doing the series for 43.7, it's not quite good enough. Quinton's done 42, 43.2, I should say. As he goes wide there, actually makes a mistake. I've enjoyed the challenge of going against Eries and Adventure Racing, but I'm quite looking forward to getting out of the Mustang, if I'm being completely frank with you. It's after a while, I don't know about you guys if you feel the same, you pick a manufacturer, and then after a few races you start to think to yourself, was this the right decision? It kind of was, because it was good to do a YouTube championship and see how we do against other YouTubers, but at the same time, the car sucks. The car sucks, both the Group 3, the Group 4. The Group 4 not as much, but the Group 3 Mustang, I feel, I don't know, it's not good on tyres, it's not good on fuel, it's a bit of a boat, it's heavy. It was good at Monza because it got good top end and fuel wasn't really an issue, so we managed to get, I think we got P2 in the end, didn't we, in that one, which was pretty awesome. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting out of it, unfortunately, and it's been nice doing this competition, but looking forward to next season, to be honest, and seeing who we go with after that. I'm not quite sure. We actually go personal best on lap 5. Still got Quinton behind us, but you know, it's only been, what, 2 laps now, and he's taken that gap from second to about a quarter. As you can see, he's got the slipstream on me now. Now I have to use my brain here. I have to think again in the bigger picture. So put the hazards on as indicator. I'm going to let him go. So I let go of the throttle. losing the least amount of time as I possibly can, and I let him through because I thought to myself, well, we could keep on the back of him, potentially, keep the slipstream so we stick with him and we don't use as much fuel. That's the plan. That's the plan, but can we execute it? Well, as soon as we go through this first corner here, you can see he gains a car width on me already, and that is just the pace this guy has. And I think the car does add a little bit to it, don't get me wrong, but this guy's, yeah, he's different gravy. He's probably your Bisto finest, whilst I'm a Tesco value kind of gravy. Where the hell am I going with this? Anyways, so yeah, we're going to stick on the back of Quinton now for as long as I possibly can. You see Dino's gone in the pits now as we start to begin lap 7. We do a 44.1, not quick at all, but considering we let someone through, we only lost about 3 temps there, so that's not too bad. That's the thing. If we started fighting with Quinton, absolutely pointless. We would have lost way more time than 3/4 of a second, plus we wouldn't have the slipstream, so in reality, it's probably worked out even. And as you can see, as we go through there, I don't know what it is in that AMG, sorry. It's just so quick. One thing I did notice as well, actually, is how aggressive Quinton was on the curb, so I've decided to adapt to that if I can. Breaking off the 100-metre board once more. It's easy to go too deep there and then have a poor exit, but that's just about right. That's just where we want to be. 8 temps now is the gap. I tried to use a little bit of fuel to catch up with him, but yeah, there's no use. I've got no chance. So 43.8 as the 8th lap gets underway. Now we should see on lap 8, we should see some guys jump into the pits now as we just lose the rear end. You can tell tyres are a little bit worse for wear. The front tyres, the left side, are looking pretty bad right now, especially that front left. It's taken a bit of a pounding, but we only go through the, well, I say the middle sector, it's the only real sector, to be honest with you. We go down 2 temps, which is not dramatic, but again, like I've said time and time again in these kind of lobbies, it makes a world of difference when you're racing against these kind of guys, because they just race at the highest level, and time like that lost is just not acceptable. So cross the line here, do a 44.2. At this point here, I need to go in the pits and get some fresh rubber on, because it is just not good enough. Thankfully, we've got Primer Phoenix, who I think is the guy who wiped himself out in qualifying, unfortunately for him. But we're just behind him now. However, we are going to put some softs on in a moment. So we go through the second corner again, or third corner I should say. The time gained, that Viper, by the way, in Group 3 at the moment, is just so overpowered, isn't it? It's so quick, that thing. It's got such great balance and speed, and it's good on fuel. It's just such a good car. It's just something I wish I was in. So I'm not putting fuel in this one, because we're going to go pit again. The strategy I've decided to go with, pit lap 1 to get rid of the hards, and then we're going to do 8 lap stints all the way to the end. So we've pitted now. I think we'll pit again on lap 17 or 18, and then we'll just push all the way to the end and see what we can do. So first half, or first third I should say, of this race is done with strategy. So we've done 2 of the pit stops already. So half the strat's done, I should say, not third, or whatever I did say. So half the strat's done. It's worked out well so far. I think we've dropped 3 positions, but that's okay. We're in a top split. It's our first race, and we've got people in front of us that are going to go in the pit, so we are going to gain a few positions once more. So this isn't really our true position here. As I look behind us, actually, we've got Will Murdoch behind us, just 3 and a bit temps behind. It'll be interesting to see if we can hold Will back. I don't really want to. If he gets the opportunity to overtake me here, I'd probably let him go. He's probably on the maybe a better strategy, well, not strategy as such, but he's probably in a different place in this race. So he might be on, hards or something like that, or softs. I just don't know what strategy he's on, but I can already tell by going around this racetrack that Will is bloody quick, as he always is. So, but we go through the middle sector and we set a personal best, so we're 3 temps up, which is really nice to see, to be fair. I was worried that without the slipstream we were going to be in trouble, but we set a lap time of 43.391, and there's only one guy quicker at the moment, I believe, at this time, and that was Quinton in front of us, and he did a 43.1, so we went purple. So that's pretty good going, I have to say. But even after just doing a couple of laps on these soft tyres in this car, straight away I can feel them deteriorating. On Gran Turismo Sport, you don't really have to see much of the red stuff on the tyre wear for you to feel the effect. And straight away I was a 10th down going into the middle sector as such, first sector, whatever you want to call it. Nice exit there. Bit of an issue with the Mustang, trying to get the power down, going through that corner. It's a really, really sharp right-hander. Call it a hairpin if you like. And yeah, as we cross the line, 43.5. Again, good pace. It's not bad pace at all. I think if we were in the second top split, we'd be fighting for a win. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think we'd be right up there. But in this one, racing these guys, it's a real struggle. But yeah, we've got Will behind us still. So I've managed to keep him behind us a couple of laps. But he's getting really close now. So again, I'm going to have to make a decision here. Do I decide to let him go? Or do we decide to fight him? Again, thinking of the bigger picture, we pull over to the right-hand side, put my hazards on, I'll let him go. And then once more, just going to stay on the back of him and get the slipstream from Will and see if we can save a little bit of fuel, because we're going to have to refuel at some point. We almost go wide there. I think Will does a little bit. Dino's in the pits then. Now I can tell by when Dino went in the pits, we are gaining. I think we're quicker than Dino right now, and I think we're ahead of him in this one. So this is going well if we're looking at the forward versus forward situation that we're in. But we'll stick on the back of Will then. Let's see what we can do. First lap behind Will. Go a little bit wide. Stupid mistake. My only mistake, I think, in this one. And I'm already at the slipstream already, folks. So there you go. Just one mistake. One easy, simple mistake to make. Easy to do. I think everyone's pretty much done it. Going wide there. Just trying to get as much... just trying to get the right angle going into the next right-hander. And yeah, mess it up, unfortunately. Now I'm going to try and use some extra fuel to try and get back into it. So I'm like kind of changing gear about 3/4 of the way about instead of half. And we're just about get back in the slipstream again, but by the time we're going to get back on the straight, I believe it's going to be too little too late. As you can see, it's already over 3/4 of a second. So if anyone doesn't know, slipstream range on this game is 3/4 of a second. As soon as you're out of it, you will get none of it. And obviously, the closer you are, the stronger the slipstream effect is. And yeah, Will has almost broke a second on me already. So again, goes to show just how quick these guys are. But we're on lap 15 already, folks. We've only got 11 laps, or 11 and a bit laps to go here. So this race is going thick and fast. I think this one could have done with a few more laps, to be honest with you. I know 26 sounds like a lot, but I think the total race time is about 20 minutes. Or no, it's less than that, isn't it? It's about 19, just over 19, I believe. So for an FIA race, for the last round, I do like this, by the way. The Group 3 combination short track. I do like it. It's pretty cool. It's just a shame that it was so quick. You know, when it's the last round of the FIA manufacturers and you've got a lot on the line, like I have, trying to finish first and forward, it'd be nice if we had a few more laps. I think just over 30, maybe 32, something like that. That would have been cool. Maybe it would have mixed up the strategies a little bit more. You know, fuel would have been even more of an issue. But yeah, it would have been pretty cool. But so far, I have to say, actually, moving away from that subject, we're not too bad behind Will. I'm still within a second. We've got two guys in the pits there. Some guy only had 8 litres of fuel, so he's gone through, or 8% I should say. So he's going to come out of the pits. Now that promotes us up to P11, I believe. So I think that only puts up one position, didn't it? So nothing major, but it is what it is. You know, P11 is where we started. So at the moment, we've only got one pit stop to do. Now I've got to make a decision here whether I go in this lap or the next. So I could go in this lap, and then I've just got a I think, what would it be? It'll be 9 laps, wouldn't it? It'd be 9 laps, I believe, to the end. So we come out 18. Yeah, so 9 laps I'd have on those soft tyres. Normally you do about 8 laps on them, but yeah, I decided to go for it purely because I just wanted to not get caught by an undercar or anything like that. So we're going to go in the pits here. You're going to see there's a white dot telling you when you'll have enough fuel to finish the race. But no, I can see I went to about half a tank there, and you're going to see it's actually probably the perfect amount. If you watch right to the end of this race, it's probably the perfect amount there. So duration is about 9 seconds. So probably lost in reality about 7 or 8 seconds in that pit stop. But we are on the softs once more, so that means we're going to be able to push on for a little bit more here. No issues with fuel, I guess, but the way it works, you have to constantly do fuel saving. So in this race, you'll have seen I don't really ever fully rev the Mustang. I'm always about 50% of the throttle, as you can see by the bar, just above the miles per hour in the gear. So I'm about 50% the whole time, just trying to save fuel when I can. So when you go in the pits, the game calculates how much fuel you're using. So even then, I still had to overfuel with what I was going in with, because it thought I was going to survive that long if I kept doing as much fuel saving as I can. But even that is still wrong. I believe it's like a lap out, so you have to put in a lap extra fuel. I'm not sure why. I can only assume it's calculating whole track, maybe. Do you know what I mean? Like the longer version instead of the center loop, or whatever. What this version is at Maggie or. It's a strange one, if I'm being completely frank. But what I have just clocked onto is that DMRE Dino is actually behind us now. So we're 1.1 seconds ahead of Dino now, and I believe he'll have to make another pit stop. So if he has to make another pit stop, that is pretty good. That's pretty cool, because that means we've made massive gains in really, maybe 4 or 5 seconds, which is absolutely awesome. 2 more people going to the pits then, but we're still in P13. So even though we dropped 2 positions technically, I'm not too fussed. I'm not too fussed. It's my first race really in this top split. Now I will mention I did have an entry before this in top split, but as soon as the race got underway, I got a 1 second penalty on the first corner. So it was just utterly pointless, and I was dead last. So I did just sit in the pits. So I'm not going to class that as my real attempt. This was my first real attempt in the race as such. So yeah, just thought I'd point that out there, just in case anyone was wondering. It's not technically my first, but it's my first race, shall we say, because I only did half a lap. All right, so please let me have that at least. Anyways, I just want to clock on as well. We're only 14 seconds behind, or 13.5 seconds behind the leader in this race, which is now dropped to 13 seconds actually. Okay, now dropped to sub 13. So that's not bad. Really isn't bad. With just 5 laps to go here, as this race has gone pretty quickly, isn't it? This is what I mean. It goes pretty quickly, and I've tried to do my best here, folks, where I just don't edit or cut it out too much. I just want you to see what it's really fully like to do a top split race, because this was my real true first experience of completing a full race anyways in this split. You can see, by the way, if you look at that group up ahead there, just how close we are. It would have been absolutely awesome if we could have just found an extra like 3-4 seconds of pace over this whole race. Maybe if we minimise the issue we had here. We went wide here at some point, didn't we? And that cost us. So maybe even then that still wouldn't have been enough. And I've got to be frank with you, I did my very best in this one. I don't think, apart from that one mistake, I don't think there's anything else, much more else I could have done, to be honest. I think qualifying went as well as it could have done. You know, 43 flat in a Mustang, I'll take it. A little bit wide there, missing the inside of the curve this time, so that's not the line you want. Now we've got a gap of 1.2 seconds behind Dino, in front of Dino I should say. Now you're going to notice that Taheny is behind Dino, so Dino's kind of doing me a favour right now. He is holding Tidge up, but unfortunately as soon as I say that, he has now been overtaken by Tidge. So we've got the fantastic Tidge behind us. He's been to many world finals for Gran Turismo, so again goes to show you what kind of lobby we're in once more. So the gap is 1.1 seconds. Now at this point I was, I'm not going to say panicking, but you know, the thought was in the back of my mind here that if we make any major mistake here, we're going to get caught pretty quickly, because Tidge is lightning fast, and he's in a Porsche, and we know the Porsche is very good on tyre wear. It's very good on tyre wear, so I don't think he's going to be feeling it nowhere near as much as I am. I think he went for the same strategy as me as well, so he went for lap 1 hards and then softs. You could go for a different strat, which is a free stop, but to be honest with you, I didn't see many people do it, and I just don't think it quite worked, to be honest. You need a car good on tyres, and you need to be in the slipstream all the time for it to work. Anyways, 9 tenths now, so we've got 2.5 laps to go. 4 tenths down already in the middle sector. Yeah, I can feel it. So I went in the pits 1 lap early, I believe, than I should have expected. So as we go and cross the line shortly, this technically, if we did the strategy of 1 extra lap, which we should have done, this would have technically been our last lap on these tyres, but it's not. We're going to have to stretch these out for another lap, a 44.1. That's not good enough. You can see the lap times. They need to be in the 43s, regardless of the tyre wear here. And yeah, we're 2 seconds off EQS Matthews. We're currently sat in P12, so we only dropped 1 position. Okay, so again, I keep emphasising this, but this was a massive learning experience for me. To get better, you have to race with the best. And so far, I've only dropped 1 position, 6 tenths down by the way, bloody hell. So I only have dropped 1 position here. Still very happy. I think the strategy of starting on the hards worked out really well here. Hit the braking point, lovely actually there. That's exactly what we want to see. So look at the gap now. Tidge, I can see he's right behind me. I don't know what happens here, but Phoenix has got an issue. So that's going to put me up to P11 now, and that is where we started, which is absolutely superb. Maybe had a little bit of luck on our side, but I don't believe in luck. We got ourselves in this position by our own doing. So, you know, fair play. We deserve this. Okay, last lap here, folks. Last lap. 2.5 temps between myself and Taheny. Okay, right. So I'm just checking everything. I'm checking the fuel because I want to know if I've got enough to push all the way to the end. 6.5 temps. He's right up behind me. I have to go defensive now. I have to go to the inside. Looking for that 100-meter board. I have to brake slightly earlier because I'm a much tighter line here. Got to give Taheny space on the outside. I try and power down as much as I can without the rears spinning. They do a little bit, and we're going to go side by side here. And I am just about going to cross the line in P11, in top split, just in front of Taheny. And what a race that turned out to be. Absolutely awesome. What an experience. What an experience. Seriously. In other splits, I'm telling you, I would have shot up. I would have been so much higher than I finished there. But because this was top split, it was only P11, but I don't care. It was a great experience. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'm just happy to be there. Fingers crossed. Many more of these to come, and we'll only get better. But guys, if you did enjoy it and you want to see more of this, please leave a like, subscribe if you are new around here, and I'll catch you for the next one. Take care. Ta-da.